The 5 steps to start your healing process. Step 1, acknowledge the pain. Stop pretending you're okay when you're not, because healing starts with calling it what it is. You can't fix what you refuse to face. Step 2, just accept what you can't change. You can't undo what happened. You can't rewind the clock and wish that things were different. But what you can do is control what happens next. Step 3, forgive, even if it's just for you. Forgiveness isn't about letting them off the hook. It's about setting yourself free. Carrying resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgive them, forgive yourself, and let it go. Step 4, start pouring into yourself. Start loving on yourself the way that you were hoping the other person would. Pour into your growth, your dreams, your health, and whatever makes you feel alive again. You spent enough time giving to people who didn't pour back. Now it's your turn. Step 5, set boundaries like your life depends on it. Healing means protecting your peace at all costs. That might mean letting some people go or keeping some at a distance. If they don't respect your growth, they don't deserve a front row seat to your life. Set boundaries that honor the version of you that's still healing, and don't apologize for it. Because healing isn't a straight line. It gets messy, it gets uncomfortable, and sometimes you'll feel like you're right back at step 1. But as long as you're committed to the process, you're moving forward. You don't have to have all the answers, and you don't have to do it all today. Just start. Because every step you take is a step closer to the version of you that feels whole again. And if you're looking for a guide to help you on that journey, in her hour need
to them 3 signs you need to let them go and move on. And if you're doing number 3, you need to let them go today. Number 1 is when you're no longer surprised by their behavior. Listen, if you do not learn by their behavior, you will learn by their betrayal. You're exhausted, you're crying, you're investigating, you express to them your pain, and they continue to keep hurting you. And you keep going back. It's like they have a stronghold over you. It's like you know the truth. You know they're not good for your future, but you don't know how to let go. Number 2, if they left you on their own, you will actually be relieved because you don't know how to let go. The truth is this: you're addicted to their toxic behaviors. This is why you must go no contact, because it breaks the trauma bond. Your healing and transformation and elevation will come once you are committed to going no contact. Number 3, you're holding on to maintain an image or to keep them happy while you're disrupting your own peace and sanity. You know this person does not belong in your life. They are embarrassing you. They're not trying to grow and elevate. They're literally stuck in their ways, and it's actually holding you back from growing. And you have this ambitious personality. You know, you believe that there's more to life, and they are very closed-minded. Every time you share with them your dream, your vision, they shut it down. They remind you of your limitations. They don't speak to your future. They speak to your failures. Oh my God. 2024 will be here in a couple weeks. Don't you allow anybody to stop your growth. And you know, anytime somebody about to leave a relationship, the $1 million question everybody asks is, well, do you love that person? Love means nothing if they are toxic to your future. I could love you and never speak to you ever again. What does love have to do with this? If you're not willing to grow, if you're not willing to change your toxic behaviors, my love for you, I'm going to love you from a distance. I can't let love disrupt my peace. I can't let love drain my bank account. I can't let love put my health at risk. If you are no good for me, what does me loving you have to do with you staying in my life?
Trauma bonds aren't love. They're actually an addiction to the pain, to the hope, and to the potential that someone pretended that they were going to give you and pretend to be. Here's 3 steps to break a trauma bond for good. Number 1, radical no context. Yes, that means no text, no calls, no voicemails, no email, no Facebook Messenger, no just one more talk. Unfortunately, every time you go back, you're resetting your healing clock to 0. Trauma bond thrives on inconsistency, and no contact is literally the antidote to this chaos, to get rid of it. Number 2, name that fantasy. You're not addicted to the person, you're addicted to the potential. You're addicted to the version of them that you saw for the first few weeks or few months of that relationship. This is going to emphasize it even more. Write down what they promised compared to writing down what they did. You'll see the difference. Number 3, let's reconnect you with reality. That means reconnecting you with your support system, with your mind, with your body, with your spirit, with your soul, with your peace. Yes, it's slow. Yes, it's painful. But remember, when you put something like alcohol on a cut, it stings initially, but it's actually helping you heal. And it's the only thing that lasts. So comment or DM heal.
The hardest relationship you're ever going to have is the healthy relationship after the toxic one. It's going to cause you to question everything you know about relationships. It's going to make you so uncomfortable that you want to crawl out of your skin. It's going to make you so insecure that you're going to want to bury your head in the sand. You're going to question your self-worth. You're going to question your value. You're going to question whether or not you're healed or completely broken. And it is just the most disorienting thing, because when you're accustomed to having toxic relationships and that's the only thing that you know, and you have been conditioned to think that every man is a liar and a cheater, then your brain is actually going to look for every excuse in the world to find some sort of infidelity or betrayal or fault in him. Because we're so protective of our healing journey, we're so protective of our hearts, we're so mindful of the fact that where we come from is not where we want to return to, that we will feel like we are just. So my advice to you is take your time, pace yourself, because a good man is going to support you and respect your need to take things slow. A good man is going to help you build up your confidence and not tear it down. A good man is going to restore your faith in men, not cause you to feel like there are no good men left in the world. A good man is going to create enough space for you to flitter and flutter about like a caged bird when you feel like you're losing your mind. A good man is going to want to cause you to be feminine instead of pushing you into your masculine because you're terrified and you want to fight or fly away. A good man is going to ask you to take care of yourself first and trust your ability to open up, let your walls down, and be free to utilize your voice, share your opinions, express your thoughts, and communicate your feelings. And it's very uncomfortable. So take your time, pace your.
They will feel the impact of your absence once you leave them alone. Stop talking. Stop texting. Use this time to prioritize beauty and fitness. Decenter them in your life. If you find yourself throughout the day just thinking about them and you just can't keep your mind off of them, force yourself to think about something else. Because once you come to peace about that breakup and the disrespect and the embarrassment that he caused you, you're going to be so healed and so set free. You're going to be stomping on business, not standing on business. Baby, I don't think some of these men realize the superpower a woman has when she heals. Woo! It's like when we love them, we be so delusional and obsessed with them. But when we heal, we be like, ain't no way his teeth look like that. Ain't no way he got a receding hairline. Ain't no way he got a big back like that. When we heal, business is stood on. Do you hear me? Somebody put it in the comment section. I'm healed. Okay? Now, if you really healed for real, I want you to comment below, and I'm standing on business. If you heal for real now, this is why most men will go back to their ex if she allowed it. Because a lot of them who torment women, they don't heal. They just find another woman and another woman and another woman. So you're going to always be beautiful in his eyes, whether you lose the weight or don't lose the weight. I've recommend you be more beautiful than you've ever been, but I'm saying you're gonna always be able to pull your ex, which is not a flex, right? That's not a flex. But I'm just giving you an example, because a man who torments women, they don't heal. You're gonna always be an option for him if you allow him. So we ain't having that.
She's still healing. She's healing from some things that she didn't even deserve. So just try to understand that being the first guy to treat her right after all that crap she done went through, it ain't gonna be easy. No matter what you do or what you say or how good you are to her, part of her will believe you. Part of her will feel like she doesn't even deserve it. Part of her will feel like she does. But another part of her will feel like it's just some kind of trick or game. This is her defense mechanism. And all it takes is one time of you messing up, and she'll begin to think that you're just like the rest of them. But if you're brave enough to stick it out, if you're willing to understand and be patient with her, I promise you, it'll be worth it. There's only so much healing that she can do on her own. The rest is done together.
What you're attracted to when you're broken will disgust you once God heals you. Stay with me. Before I was saved, I was in toxic relationship after toxic relationship. What I thought was love was actually abuse. I didn't know what real love was because my perception of love was from a shattered lens. When you are starving of love, you will accept breadcrumbs. When you are broken, you will think abuse is love and confuse the two. And that's because when you are starving of something, even the bitter things seem sweet. It's like when you are starving for food, what you normally wouldn't choose to eat seems delicious all of a sudden because you are so hungry and you're not picky. But if you had access to eating whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted, you would be much more selective with your choices and you wouldn't just accept anything, especially breadcrumbs. It's the same thing when it comes to relationships. After I got out of the last toxic relationship that I was in, that God delivered me out of, it was the worst one that I ever had. My perception of love at that point had just gotten worse and worse over time after each relationship because I never allowed God to heal me from the previous one and I never turned to Him for help or read my Bible. So my perception of love was blurred. But after the last one, I was so desperate for God's help and I called on Him to save me out of that relationship. It was both mentally and physically abusive. I was entangled in the web of a narcissist. And this is when God started showing me things in the spirit and opening my eyes to what I was truly dealing with. But the truth is, the real reason I kept finding myself in these toxic relationships was my relationship with Jesus. I didn't know what it truly meant to be loved by God. And when you do not know what it's like truly to be loved by God, you will not recognize true love from another human being. You will confuse abuse with love. You will confuse counterfeit love with real love. You will confuse what's really sent by God and sent by the devil because you do not know what it's like to be loved by God. When God healed me from my toxic relationship that literally almost killed me, God filled me with His love and healed my heart. He filled the void, not another guy, not another relationship. I finally was able to fill the emptiness with God's love. And when we are so desperate and starving for love and staying in toxic relationships that we know, deep down, we know that are unhealthy and we know that they are toxic. But when we have a God-shaped hole that is filled by a human being, it will never satisfy. It will never be enough. And that's why we keep reaching. And that's why we keep starving for this love and accepting breadcrumbs. Because we don't know what it's like to be loved by God. And so when God finally healed me from that, I got to experience what it actually meant to be loved by God. And I started being addicted to getting in His presence and reading the Word. Psalm 37:4 is one of my favorite verses, and it says, Delight yourself in the Lord, and He shall give you the desires of your heart. After God healed me from that abusive relationship, I literally kept wondering how I was even attracted to the person I had been in a relationship with that I thought I could never get over. The same person I thought I could never break away from or heal from because there was so much trauma bonding, and I was literally so deceived thinking that was the love of my life. I literally look back and I cringe at the fact that I thought that that was love, because now I know what it truly means to be loved by God, and I would never accept that kind of toxic behavior ever again. I really understood what that verse meant after God healed me. What I once was attracted to literally disgusted me and made me want to throw up after God healed me, and the choices that I made and how blinded I was. When you seek God and know Him, He gives you new desires. That's literally what that verse means. The desires that you have now, and then when you get healed by God, will completely change. I'm not even attracted to the same types of guys that I was. Completely different guys that I'm attracted to now than what I was once attracted to, because God puts new desires in your heart, desires that align with His will and love for you. That's why God says, delight in Him and He will give you the desires of your heart. When you are healed, you won't like the same things or be attracted to the same things, because when you are full of God's love, you say no to breadcrumbs. I remember thinking to myself, how did I allow myself to be with someone like that? Like, the enemy will always try to keep you in toxic relationships or cycles because it keeps your focus off of God. And as long as your focus is on the wrong things and off of God, you will never have discernment on what a good thing is, because you think that what's in front of you is a good thing when it's completely not a good thing at all. The enemy doesn't want you to know God's true love, because as long as you don't know God's true love, you will never recognize true love from another person. Once you recognize God's true love, you won't accept breadcrumbs from someone, because you'll be able to recognize what's sent from God or sent by the devil. When I finally chose God over a relationship that I thought I wanted, God was able to heal me, open my eyes, and give me the desires of His heart. Every